feel really bad with people with bikes because they have to go up the stairs or awkwardly in an elevator, and it just doesn't seem practical to have a bike at TMC, which shouldn't be the environment that TMC is promoting.
I think that Thurgood Marshall's pretty lacking when it comes to bike racks. Personally, I started riding a bike, and I end up having to put my bike on random like railings and places because it just seems like for where there should be a bike rack, there isn't one. In places that would make sense, like before the OVT bridge, it would make sense to put a bike rack there because people always end up chaining their bikes to the OVT bridge. And overall, I think that TMC could really do better to make this environment more bike friendly.
The bike rack situation at the moment is very bad because, like, for example, OVT Bridge, they don't have bike racks anywhere near it, so people leave their bikes there, and it's a hazard for other students who are walking there because it gets very crowded and like people could trip or fall and those bikes are like sticking out to the side.
I'm one of the co-chairs at Team TV, and I'm in the studio a lot, which is right under the Fireside Lounge. I ride my bike everywhere, and whenever I go to the studio, there's no place for me to leave my bike because there's no bike racks around the Fireside Lounge. I usually have to lug it in through the door and lean it up on the wall in the studio.
Basically, with the bike racks where they are now in the Marshall res dorms, I don't feel that my bike is really safe in those locations. I know that there have been thefts in the past because it's so close to the street.
The way I feel about the current Marshall bike rack situation is that there aren't enough bike racks, and a lot of people are forced to park their bikes along poles or trees. The only one I know of is at Goodies for the uppers, and usually that one's pretty crowded by the time you want to park your bike because of a lot of people that eat there and play tennis there or are visiting in the apartments or live in the apartments, so it's not enough for everyone who lives in the apartments to park their bikes at Goodies, and that's the only one I really know of.
If I were going to put bike racks somewhere, I'd put them on the opposite side of the bridge, so right where the Marshall Field is, because I feel like that would just be an easy point to put them instead of crowding the bridge with bikes.
Where would the bike racks go? I think they should go like near the uppers or next to Marshall Field where like people could like keep them off of OVT Bridge. That way students that live in the uppers and have bicycles could like actually have somewhere to place their bikes securely.
I know a lot of commuters who also bike to campus, and if they study in the commuter lounge, there's no place for their bikes. So there really needs to be some bike racks somewhere near Fireside, near the commuter lounge, and something needs to be done.
If there were bike racks on the opposite side of OVT's bridge, so by Marshall Field, I think that would be a nice location where they'd be a little bit safer and more secure away from the street. Right now I keep my bike on my patio because it needs to be covered. Like, I think a covered option would be nice as well because you don't really want your bikes getting soaked in the rain.
If I could think of any place that would be best to put the bike racks, it'd probably be like, of course, in the uppers by the OVT bridge or like by the dumpster area maybe, like central, like to the cul-de-sac. But definitely we need more in the uppers and the lowers because there aren't enough spots to park all of the bikes on campus.
I noticed that the bike racks underneath the OVT bridge between O and P buildings is surrounded by stairs, which probably doesn't make sense when you're riding a bike because stairs are one of the bicyclists' worst enemies. So probably doing things like putting bike racks before the OVT bridge and possibly making the bike racks more accessible would probably be the best thing to do right now. Nothing too drastic. I'm sure a couple bike racks here and there would surely make a difference, and a lot of people would really appreciate it, including myself.